Hello students, how are you all? So, have you enjoyed your first chapter of geography? Today we are going to start the second chapter, which is land, soil and water resources. In this chapter you will study about non-living natural resources, land resources, soil resources, water resources, river valley projects and water conservation. Non-living natural resources. Land, soil, and water are the most important non living natural resources on the earth. Earth is the only planet in the solar system where life exists. About 30% of the total area of the world is covered with land and 70% with water. We satisfy most of our needs from our immediate natural environment such as land, water, soil, planets, animals, etc. We see that certain countries are more developed than others. Some regions are more prosperous than others. The economic prosperity of a region is based on the availability of these resources. The gifts of nature become resources only when human beings locate them and find a use for them. For example, river is a gift of nature and it becomes a resource when we utilize the water of the river for irrigation, power generation, navigation, etc. Land, water, and soil resources greatly influence the natural environmental conditions such as different elements of weather and climate, hydrological cycle, that weathering of rocks, etc. This is the land use of India. Land resources. Land is the most important natural resource as human beings fulfill most of their needs like food, clothing, and shelter from it. The land surface has a variety of landforms such as mountains, hills, plains, river valleys, deserts, marshlands, etc. Lithosphere consists of loose surface materials called soils. It is a combination of organic and inorganic matters. The organic compound, which consists of dead and decomposed parts of animals and plants, is known as humus. The inorganic component is formed by rock particles and minerals such as lime, calcium, etc. Soil is formed by a long continuous weathering process of rocks. Soil also has pores which occupy water and air. All parts of the land surface are not equally inhabited. The uneven population distribution on the surface of the earth is mainly due to the varied relief features and highly variable climatic conditions. About 90% of the total population of the world occupies about 30% of the total land area. Rest of the land area does not have suitable conditions for the survival of human beings. Plain area of alluvial soils of the tropical and subtropical region have intense crop cultivation with high yields. All these areas support dense population in the areas of high altitudes, deserts, equatorial forests, etc. Sparse population is seen. Here slopes are steep, temperature is either too hot or too cold. Soils are this and infertile. These areas are inhabited by people who are engaged in hunting, fishing, and shifting agriculture. Land use. Land is used for various purposes such as for cultivation of crops, building of houses, roads, railways, grazing of animals, etc. This is known as land use pattern. This is the image of land use in hilly areas. This is the image of cattle grazing on community land. The percentage of land used for various purposes varies from one region to another. The utilization of land is determined by the continuous interplay of the physical factors such as relief, soil, climatic condition, mineral resources, etc. and the human factors like the density of population and the technical requirement of the people. Land use in selected countries in percentage. Country, cultivated land, pastures, forest, others. India 57%, 4%, 22%, 17%. In this chart, you can see how countries are using their lands in different aspects. According to the above table of land use pattern, India has the highest percentage of cultivated land, 57%, as compared to any other country of the world. India is basically an agricultural country. The manufacturing industry are limited to certain regions only. Highest percentage of land under crop is necessary to feed the billion plus population of our country. It is necessary to manage our croplands scientifically. According to the scientific norms, 33% of the total land should be under forest to maintain ecological balance. The area under forest is the highest in Japan, 67%. The Australia and UK have high percentage of pasture lands, that is 56% and 46% respectively. The availability of land on earth is limited. However, the number of people and their demands are increasing. To get the maximum benefit of land, we should prepare a plan of land use. Two factors such as first, nature and quality of the land. Second, needs of the community. Any modification or change in land use should be done only after a detailed survey. This helps in maximum utilization of land resources. Soil resources. It is an important natural resource. A large part of the Earth's land surface is covered with soil. It is the top covering. Soil is formed due to wear and tear of rocks by natural or human-made forces. As a resource, the soil is of immense value to the farmers. Agricultural production is mainly dependent upon the fertility of soil. Deep and rich soil cover with a high degree of fertility favors agricultural production. On the other hand, if the soil is shallow and lacks fertility, agricultural production will be less. Therefore, a layer of fertile soil is very important for the growth of plants. Indirectly, animals also depend upon the soil to satisfy their basic needs, as soil gives nutrients to plants. It gives shelter to insects and animals like snakes, rats, ants, earthworms, etc. It is also used for making bricks. Generally, soil includes four types of material. They are weathered rocks, organic materials, water and air. The mineral matter is sand and clay, while the organic materials include decayed leaves, dead tissue of organisms, bacteria, and earthworms. Fine vegetal and animal remains called humus add to the fertility of the soil. The importance of the soil lies in its fertility. Soil formation. Soil formation is a slow process. It takes hundreds of years to form a thin layer of soil. The quality of soil varies from place to place. Soil also differs in color, texture, chemical properties, and fertility. Soil formation is influenced by five factors: the parent rock, the topography, the climate and vegetation cover, and time. Parent rock. Underlying rocks which contain minerals make up the bulk of the soil are called the parent rock. They are the original rock from which soil is formed by the process of weathering. For example, the black soil of India is derived from the lava rock. Topography. Flat areas have thicker layers of soil as compared to steep slopes. Variation in the relief, such as mountains, plains, and plateaus, determine the thickness of the soil. For example, the northern plains of India have thick soil cover than the Himalayas. Even within mountains, the river valleys have thick soil cover. Climate. Climatic factors such as temperature and rainfall affect the soil formation. In the areas of high rainfall and extreme temperature, rocks are easily weathered, which affect the soil formation. In regions of heavy rainfall, soluble rock material easily gets dissolved and washed away by the running water. Thus, it affects the soil formation. In Rajasthan, due to extreme difference in day and night temperature, rocks expand and contract, which results in quick formation of soil. Vegetation cover. Usually, there are many cracks in the rocks. Plants grow in those cracks. With time, roots of the plant start penetrating in the cracks, making it wider. As a result, it disintegrates into smaller pieces and helps in soil formation. Remains of dead and decomposed plants and animals provide humus to the soil, which enriches the fertility of the soil. The soil of densely forested area is rich in humus content. Time. Although soil is a renewable resource, it takes thousands of years to develop a very thin layer of it on the earth's surface. Time gives maturity to the soil. Soil is considered mature if the soil formation process have acted over a sufficient period of time and the soil has developed a distinct soil profile. Soil develops more quickly in humid regions than in dry regions. The Nile Delta and the Ganga Brahmaputra Delta have very deep and fertile soil. Soil profile. As soil develops, it forms layers which are called horizons. These horizons make up the soil profile. The soil horizons are usually named A, B, C, and D from the uppermost layer of the soil to the parent rock below. Horizon A. Topsoil. Horizon A is the topmost layer. It contains soluble minerals and organic materials. Humus needed for the growth of plants. Leaching of soil is common in this layer. Horizon B. Subsoil. Below the topsoil is horizon B, which is also called subsoil. This layer has less organic matters but enough minerals. Horizon A and B form the true soil. Horizon C. Rock regions. It has small pieces of rocks. They are partly weathered rocks. These rocks are actually producing new soil, but this layer is not affected by biological process. In this image, you can see the soil profile from top layer to the parent rock. O. Humus or organic. A. Topsoil. E. Elevated horizon. B. Subsoil. C. Parent material. R. Bedrock. Horizon D. Parent rock. Horizon D has an unbroken solid rock material lying below horizon C. Major soil types of India. India has a great variety of soil. Major soil types found in India are: in this map you can see different types of soil on the Indian map. Alluvial soil. It is widespread and mostly found in the floodplains of North India and the Delta region. Alluvial soil is very fertile and supports agriculture. In this image you can see alluvial soil. Black soil. It is made up of volcanic rock and also called black lava soil, locally called Regur soil. It is made up of fine clay and can hold moisture. This is found in Deccan Trap regions. It is good for cotton and sugarcane cultivation. This is the image of black soil. Red soil. It is formed by the weathering of old igneous rocks. It is finely grained and porous. It is red due to the presence of iron oxide. This soil can be made fertile by adding manure and chemical fertilizers. This is the image of red soil. Lateroid soil. It is formed when heavy rains wash away the fertile upper part of the soil. This soil is less fertile. It is found in the flat uplands and the western Ghats. Pastures and shrubs are supported by this soil. This is the image of laterite soil. Mountain soil. Mountain soil is mainly found on the hill slopes covered with forest. This soil is formed due to the deposition of organic matter and is thus rich in humus. It is suitable for tea, coffee and spice cultivation. This is the image of mountain soil. Desert soil. It is found in hot and semi-arid regions. It has a thick layer of sand. This soil lacks humus content but contains a high proportion of soluble salts. A variety of crops can be grown in desert soil by providing irrigation. This is the image of desert or sandy soil. Soil erosion. The removal of topsoil is known as soil erosion. Loses its fertility due to erosion. The top layers of the soil is removed. Natural agents such as water, wind, glacier, etc. It is also eroded by unwise action of mankind such as deforestation, overgrazing and mining. It is a great challenge for us to conserve the soil from erosion. Soil conservation. Various methods by which soil is prevented from being eroded is called soil conservation and fertility exhaustion. The methods are afforestation. Afforestation means to plant more and more trees and increase the area under forest cover. It reduces surface runoff and binds the soil. Rows of trees or shelter belts should be planted at short distances in desert regions to protect the fields from wind erosion. Overgrazing by animals like sheep and goats must be checked. Fodder crops should be raised. The free movement of animals in the field should be restricted. Reckless cutting of trees should be checked. Dams should be made across the river to avoid floods. Terrace farming and contour plowing should be encouraged across the hill slope. You can see in this picture, students are planting trees. This is called as afforestation. And this is the image of contour plowing. Do you know? Terrace farming means growing of crops on level steps or terraces constructed on hillsides. Contour plowing, it is the cultivation of land along the contour in order to check the flow of water, which otherwise can wash away the soil. Crop rotation and intercropping should be adopted. Soil erosion and subsequent fertility loss is a serious problem in developing countries. The measures for soil conservation should be planned on scientific lines and implemented with the active participation of farmers. Do you know? Intercropping is the method in which different crops are grown in the alternate rows and also at different times. The soil is protected from rainwash as the field remains under some crops throughout the year. Water resources. Water is the most important resource. Our planet Earth is unique in having an abundance of water in the form of oceans. Earth is also called a watery planet because nearly 70% of the Earth's surface is covered with water. About 96% of the Earth's total water is in the oceans and seas. It contains a large quantity of dissolved salt as compared to water on the land. This water is not fit for human consumption, but it provides ideal conditions for the origin of different life forms. Ocean water supports incredible biodiversity of marine life but is not suitable for human consumption or for watering our crops. Remaining 4% is fresh water, which is found in the following form. 0.9% is available in lakes and rivers, 2.19% is in the form of snow and ice, 0.1% is absorbed as moisture in the atmosphere. Do you know? Surface water means water which is present above the earth's surface in the form of rivers, streams, lakes, etc. The main source of water is rainwater. The rainwater continuously gets recycled in nature through evaporation, which is known as hydrological cycle. Most of the fresh water on the earth is found in rivers, streams, lakes, ponds, ice caps, and underground water. The distribution of fresh water resource is highly uneven. Some parts get flooded while other parts suffer from drought. To solve their problem, we need to divert water from the water surplus regions to water deficit region. This is the image of a hydrological cycle. Water is abundant at places which receive heavy rainfall, whereas availability of water is less in the areas where rainfall is low. The average rainfall or precipitation of the world is estimated to be about 1050 millimeters per year or 2.9 millimeters per day. In this world map, you can see the distribution of rainfall over the world. The map given above indicates the uneven distribution of rainfall in the world. Areas of high rainfall are common near the equator, west coast of North America, 35 degree to 60 degree north latitude, southeast USA, coast of Southeast Asia and eastern Australia. Areas of low rainfall include the continental desert, Sahara, central Eurasia, interior part of North America and polar regions beyond 60 degree latitude. The quality of water in some rivers is adversely affected as the untreated industrial waste is dumped into them. This causes many health problems and disturbs the ecosystem also. Serious efforts have been made to clean the river water. Multi-purpose river valley projects. River valley projects have been developed all over the world to utilize water. Multi-purpose means to serve many objectives at the same time. A dam or series of dams are constructed across the river for storing water. This stored water is used for several purposes such as providing irrigation, generating hydroelectricity, afforestation, control of flood, navigation, etc. Damodar River Valley Project and Hirakund Dam in India, Aswan in Egypt and Hoover Valley Project in USA are some of the multi-purpose river valley projects. This is the image of Hirakund Dam, India. These dams are very useful, but many environmentalists criticize that they are causing ecological problems like population gets displaced, extensive forests submerged underwater, river water gets diverted, aquatic life gets affected. Flow of underground water is also checked. Conservation of water. Many parts of the world are facing acute shortage of water. The sources of water are limited and are reducing every year. Due to the effects of global warming, the frequencies of rain has also become unpredictable. Therefore, it is very essential for us to conserve it. More and more trees should be planted as trees reduce surface runoff and recharge groundwater storage. Rainwater harvesting is a must to save surface runoff. During the rainy season, rainwater is collected and stored for use during dry period. It is most important in arid and semi-arid regions. In this image, you can see how rainwater is harvested. The rainwater can be impounded by making dams across the rivers. Water can be saved by adopting modern methods of irrigation, such as drip or trickle irrigation technique and sprinkler method of irrigation. You can see in this image how drip irrigation system works. Industries should recycle water to fulfill their water demands. This is the image of water recycling plant. Domestic demands can also be reduced by using modern method of recycling. The already used water can be reused for watering plants, flushing toilets, etc. It can be conserved by installing water fixtures such as sensor taps in public places. Maintenance of lakes and ponds also help in increasing the aquifer water table of underground water. Conservation of water resources is possible through the planned utilization and protecting the available water resources from pollution. It can be conserved by educating and sensitizing people toward the urgent need to conserve water so that they do not waste fresh water. Summing up, Earth is the only planet in the solar system where life exists. About 30% of the total area of the Earth is covered with land and 70% with water. Lithosphere consists of loose surface materials called soil. It is a combination of organic and inorganic matter. About 90% of the total population of the world occupies about 30% of the total land area. India has the highest percentage of cultivated land, 57%, as compared to any other countries of the world. The area under forest is highest in Japan, 67%. Soil is formed due to wear and tear of rocks by natural or human-made forces. The removal of topsoil is known as soil erosion. Various methods by which soil is prevented from being eroded is called soil conservation. Afforestation means to plant more and more trees and increase the area under forest cover. Earth is also called a watery planet because nearly 70% of the Earth's surface is covered with water. The main source of water is rainwater. Areas of high rainfall are common near the equator. River valley projects have been developed all over the world to utilize water. Thank you class. Let's meet for the next chapter.